Hello, Colas, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting transfer updates. We start with this Benfica midfielder, Florentino Luis, as FC Barcelona have been told to shell out 30 million euros if they want to sign the 23-year-old Portuguese midfield enforcer. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Deco, as it has been reported that the new sporting director of Barca is said to have a greater responsibility than the outgoing Jordi Cruyff as Barca sporting director. We are also going to be discussing more on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. There has been some noise about the future of Florentino Luis lately. Reports suggest the Benfica starlet is being scouted by FC Barcelona as a potential replacement for Sergio Busquets. A product of Benfica's famed youth academy, Luis is coming on the back of a successful season in the Portuguese top flight. The young star racked up over 50 competitive appearances, becoming a central figure in Benfica's midfield unit. The 23-year-old's performances have not gone unnoticed, with Barcelona considering him as a potential long-term replacement for Busquets, who has joined Inter Miami. But Barcelona may have to shell out a sizable sum in their bid to sign Florentino this summer. According to Gianluca Di Marzio, Benfica are asking for a fee of around 30 million euros for the services of the young midfielder. The 23-year-old has a contract at Benfica until 2027 and has shown a lot of potential at an early age. The Portuguese Giants therefore have no intention to offload their star player on a cut price deal this summer. Barcelona's pursuit of Florentino could be further complicated due to the competition from AC Milan. The Rossoneri are in the market for a new midfielder this summer, especially after Sandro Tonali's departure to Newcastle United. They have identified Luis as the ideal solution. With Newcastle paying a fortune for Tonali, Milan have the cash to burn and should not find much difficulty budgeting the Portuguese in their plans this summer. Barcelona, in contrast, are not even in a position to guarantee immediate registration of the 23-year-old. With that in mind, it will be a surprise to see the Portuguese youth international heading to the Camp Nou this summer. Barcelona, though, have no shortage of alternatives, having recently stepped up their pursuit for Inter Milan veteran Marcelo Brozovic. Of course, Barcelona's pursuit for a new midfielder remains the hottest topic of discussion in Barca's transfer news. We have been talking about uncountable players linked to that position as Busquets finally left Barcelona heading to Inter Miami. And talking about this Benfica starlet, Florentino Luis, this is not the first time we have been talking about him. He has been one of the host of players that Barca have been linked with. And he's a talented player, but the fact is, the price, I doubt if Barca will want to go for him. I doubt, because right now, when Barca are asked to pay some sum of money like 30 or 40 or 50 million or upwards, it always scares the club because of the financial difficulties that we are going through. Of course, honestly, we need a younger replacement in that Busquets role. But if we don't see it, we can't scare ourselves. We can go for players that we know that they can come for a medium or short term, but in the coming years, still looking for a younger player that can succeed that role for a long time. So as it stands right now, Barcelona don't look as if they are even going to attempt to pay that 30 million that Benfica are asking for their midfielder, Florentino Luis. Of course, the player have been showing a lot of quality this past season, as he have also brought attention with the likes of top clubs like Newcastle, AC Milan. But Barca, to win that competition for the player will be so difficult because they have been told to shell out 30 million euros. And for Barca these days, that money is a huge money. It's really huge. We know that this transfer window, Barca are not going big in like maybe compared to last season. Through the activation of economic levers, the club signed players for 50 million, 60 something million. The likes of Koundé, Rafinha, Lewandowski, they were bought for some big fortunes. But right now, Barca can't sell anything like levers, they can't sell rights and so on. So Barcelona are forced to go with what they can have, they can afford, and players in the range of 50 or 30 or 40, honestly, we don't see it happening anytime soon. So if Benfica are asking for 30 million, it is very doubtful if Barca will go for that price for this player. If he was a free agent, then good and fine. We can say we are favorites. But now we can't conclude that we are favorites when 30 million euros has been placed on the player's head. So let's see what happens. As of now, nobody knows who will be the long-term replacement for Busquets. There have been a lot of players linked to that position, and honestly, we don't know. The top two choices for Xavi in Zubimendi and Joshua Kimmich have been ruled out. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, Spanish publication Sport has recently come up with a featured piece of highlighting the important role that Deco is going to play in the club's management. When the former midfielder was initially hired, he was mostly seen as a replacement for Yuri Cruyff. The Dutchman had announced his decision to leave Camp Nou at the end of the month in favor of a new adventure elsewhere. With Deco serving as Cruyff's replacement, many who presumed he would serve as the right-hand man for Matteo Alemany. The Barca director initially wanted to quit the club this summer, but made a sensational U-turn to remain at Camp Nou. However, according to Sport, Deco has a bigger role in Barcelona's management than presumed. It appears the Brazilian has not been hired as the replacement for Cruyff or to be the right-hand man of Alemany for that matter. The report suggests Deco will be the main guy in the sporting department, calling all the shots when it comes to player signings. His initial task is to identify specific players that could help the team next season. Case in point, the team next season. Barca have reportedly signed Ilkay Gundogan. In addition to leading the sporting department, Deco also takes over part of Alemany's responsibilities. Presumably, when it comes to the transfer market, he has a large network in South American football and had helped Barca sign a few players in the past. Deco will also be the main person to work alongside head coach Xavi Hernandez. It appears the Brazilian has been hired to become a crucial member of the Barca sporting staff for the long run. His activity and the moves he makes could go a long way in dictating the club's future in the years to come. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. On to next time. Bye bye.